Friday, April 12th, 2024. We're back in Stand Tall. It is The Art of War, The Army on the March, verse 37. To begin by bluster, but afterwards to take fright at the enemy's numbers shows a supreme lack of intelligence. Well, I love how sometimes these are just so relevant to what's going on in my life at the time. There's a handyman who hasn't paid me, and just got a text from my maid service. Okay, so there's a handyman who hasn't paid me for about a week's worth of payroll, worth of a job, and he attacked the project with gusto, with blunder, right? Like he was ready to tackle it. He reached out to me. We efficiently installed the electric vehicle charger, got it done in less than a couple of hours, up to code, 60 amps, beautiful installation for a Tesla charger. And to realize that he might be not ready to play at this level, he is unable to pay. He's blaming it on the economy. He's blaming it on Biden. Everyone except himself, right? No personal responsibility. And that's okay because most people are like that. 99% aren't. And so now I'm having to amass my forces, right? Emotionally, using my leverage of my network and my family history and things like that, and having what I have available to send at him. And now it's like, we'll see what happens. And so the enemy or yourself, don't begin by bluster and then take fright at the numbers. So if you like, that's why you have to at least, like, bare minimum, like, try to do a SWOT analysis or anything before you enter business. You have to look at the marketplace, look at the barriers to entry, right? Like, cell phone towers are like a great business to get into, but it's just like high barriers to entry, lots of money required to build out that infrastructure. And so, like, it's just different levels of the game. And when you're dealing with a licensed professional like myself, we're going to be efficient. We're going to be on top of things. We're going to be organized. We're going to be calculated and calibrated. And we're going to get it done because we have to be, because people could lose their life if we don't, because we're electricians. And so we take it very seriously. So anyway, let's go to an alternate translation. Okay. Master Sun says, to be violent at first and wind up fearing one's people is the epitome of ineptitude. Li Kuan says, to act inconsiderately and later be afraid is bravery without firmness, which is extremely incompetent, right? You can be brave, but you can also be brave and stupid. You need to be brave and intelligent. Okay, this is why I would not survive on the front lines, because my bravery often does exceed my intelligence, and that's okay. My confidence often outweighs my capability, and that's okay. But without that confidence, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I gain that confidence through lots of different things. Let's go to The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Mainly losing over 100 pounds. I mean, that'll do it. All right, April 12th, Reject Tantalizing Gifts by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Atreus, who would reject the flood of fortune's gifts? Thyestes, anyone who has experienced how easily they flow back. Seneca, Thyestes, 536. Thyestes is one of Seneca's darkest and most disturbing plays. Even 2,000 years later, it remains a classic of the revenge genre. Oh my gosh, guys. It's so wild how this always lines up. Without spoiling it, the quote above comes from the scene in which Atreus is attempting to lure his hated brother Thyestes into a cruel trap by offering him tempting and generous gifts. So he offers me jobs in payment upon completion, as the text read. At first, Thyestes declines, to the complete bafflement of his enemy. At first I declined because you still haven't paid me since January, sir. We are typically surprised when someone turns down an expensive gift or a position of honor or success. General William T. Sherman empathetically rejected offers to run for president of the U.S., saying at one point, I will not accept if nominated and will not serve if elected. If his friend Ulysses S. Grant had made such a Sherman-esque statement, as such rejections are now known, Grant certainly would have preserved his own legacy from the disastrous turn of events it suffered. Despite his initial misgivings, Thyestes is ultimately tempted and persuaded to accept fortune's gifts, which turn out to be a ruse hiding devastating tragedy. Not every opportunity is fraught with danger, but the play was intended to remind us that our attraction towards what is new and shiny can lead us into serious trouble. And so, I guess the lesson here is for me, like not saying that it's new and shiny, but it was a new job. It was a new opportunity to impress a new homeowner, which I believe they were impressed, and it still led me into a trap, right? So I'm still not, I'm still unable to make like that week of payroll, right? And it's fine. Like, I mean, I will cover it, even if it ever even got to that, it would be out of my personal bank account, right? Because I would do whatever it takes to keep this alive, and I think that I can do that, right? Because culture trounces everything in the end. But it's just that's just so strange how like both of those, maybe should have been read this morning, the Daily Stoic, but like it ties in with the art of war, and so everything works together, and that's why we stand tall every day, because no matter what, right, Stoicism at its finest, no matter what obstacle is placed in front of us, we overcome.